Students, we all know that message is one of the minor discourses that is asked in paper 1 of your annual examinations. We try to score more marks in our annual examinations. In order to score more marks, let us try to discuss some important things connected with messages or messaging. Now, the very first question, what is a message? A message is a piece of information shared with another person in written form. A message could be a request, it could be some news, it could be an order, it could be a suggestion, and it could be some action to be taken. Before writing message, consider the following things. A message can be either formal or informal. So, we not only write messages in the offices, we go for messaging even with our friends and family members. If you are writing a message to your family members or friends, it is considered as informal, and in the case of offices or some business, it is considered as formal message. The nature of the message can be urgent, important, or sometimes it may not be urgent, or it may be casual. But in many cases, in the case of offices, the nature of the message will be obviously important and urgent. Here, the language or the mood of the message will definitely change based on the relationship between the sender and the receiver. Here I mean to say that if it is an informal message, the mood of the message will be different from that of the message if it is written in formal occasions. Now, based on the availability of time and situation, of course, the language or the message that is being conveyed will vary. Let us see some examples of messengers. Nowadays we are using so many messengers. In online we have so many messengers available. In olden days of time, people used to use pen and paper to write messages, to send messages. But nowadays we are using only online applications. There are so many applications available like WhatsApp, mobile text, mobile messaging app is there, the regular text messaging app, Twitter is there, Yahoo, Google Messenger is there, and so many other social media like Facebook. These are all the messengers that are available in online. Usually we use verbal form of communication in our day-to-day life. Verbal form of communication means we convey something, some piece of information to the person who is sitting opposite to us, who is next to us. This is what I mean to say, the verbal form of communication. But sometimes what happens if the person who you would like to convey some message, whom you would like to give some message, is not reachable, and in certain occasions where that particular piece of messaging needs to be documented, we often go for a written form of communication that is called as messaging. Let us see some do's and don'ts in connection with messaging. To begin with, some do's. Your message should be relevant and brief. It should be appropriate to the context. You should have to use proper sentence structure, grammar, and punctuation marks. Your message should be clear and concise. In your message, obviously we send messages to convey some important information regarding an event or some occasion or some meeting or something like that. So see that your message conveys this piece of information very clearly, like what's the time, the date and the place of the meeting, and so on. Now let's see some don'ts. It has become a fashion that we use short forms, but in messaging don't use any short forms, and we often see people using emote icons in messaging. What is to express their feelings, they depend on emote icons, but in messaging don't use any emote icons. Avoid informal language. Though it is an informal occasion, I would strongly suggest to stick to the formal language and avoid some negative words, and don't use any negative words like cannot, shall not, will not. Okay. Always use reported speech, as because in messaging we often tell the information which is said by someone else, so it is recommended to use a reported speech. Like any other minor discourse, here I would say that you stick to the certain layout. Okay, even it may be a message, it has certain layout. I can say that it is a miniature form of a letter, so whatever the important things are there, important aspects are there connected with the letter writing, you have to see that those aspects are covered even in the messaging, like salutation or something subscript like that. Always proofread the message once you finish rewriting it. As I said, use salutation, date, even time also, and subscript. Let us see one sample question that you may come across in your examination, as this is one of the discourses that is asked in paper 1. Always the questions are asked irrelevant to your textbook. So now in this case, see one such question you may come across. It is one of the model. Imagine that you are Kondiba Patil, the headman of the village in the reading the storied house. Bayaji, a Meher, was planning to construct a new house. You went to Bayaji's house to stop his plan, but he was not there. So you leave a message warning Bayaji to stop his plan of constructing storied house. So you can observe that the question is asked taking the characters from the textbook itself. So for this question, the answer will be like this. Here you can see the layout, which is which looks like the miniature of a letter. Here I have written the date and the time as well, because in messaging we often write time. So date, time is there, Salutation is there, dear Bayaji. Now the body of the message, it is very precise, it is very clear. We are conveying the exact piece of information. See how we have written it. I visited your house. You were not there. I came to know that you are planning to build a new storied house. You should know your social status. We have no objection if you build a small house. You may go for a big house only if you want to stay here. Hope you understand. See, in this body of the message, as the mood, the main idea in that particular lesson, storied house, is that untouchability. So in those days, so this particular message is written by Kondiba Patil to Bayaji. Bayaji, we know that Bayaji is a Meher, and he came to his home village. He came to his village, native village, after his retirement from Mumbai. So it was his dream that to build a storied house. But according to the village customs, a Meher is not supposed to build a storied house. So this is what Kondiba Patil would like to warn Bayaji against. So he went there to convey that message, but he was not there. So in his absence, he has written this piece of message and handed it to his family members, or affixed it to the, or placed it to the door. So we can see date, time, salutation, proper body of the message, and the subscript here. In the subscript we can see that who is writing this message? Kondiba Patil. So this is how we can write a message to get good marks, and always keep the things that I have told you. Good luck.